Hey guys, so I'm gonna teach you guys how to make a reggae beat, reggae rhythm, whatever you want to call it. It's gonna be my first one in like 10 years, so bear with me. So what you want to do is open up your DAW, and I already got a template set up, but I'll show you guys how to make it from scratch. So what you want is, you want drums, drum track, whatever VST you choose to use. I'm using Addictive Drums too. Costs about like 100 or 200 bucks. And for the piano skank, I'm using Korg Triton, but you can use any free VSTs out there. You're gonna need a bass track. For this video, I'm using Moto bass, or you can use any free VSTs, or whatever that comes with your DAW. Alright, so these are the main things I usually have first: piano, drums, and the bass. So sometimes I like to do the piano first, so let's just go with that. I'm just going to do a simple chord progression here. Alright. Let me just resize this real quick. Double click. And by the way, it's easier if you're using this DAW, because it's going to be hard to follow along if you're using something else. But it's pretty much the same for all software, music software. So as you can see, everything is not lined up. So what you can do is make sure the Quantize is at 1/16. Highlight everything that you just did and click Quantize, and you see it moves everything, it lined everything up. But the trick is, what I do, this is the snap button right here, unclick that, kind of shorten these out a little bit, zoom in, and I kind of offset it just a little bit. See, the line's right here, but I kind of dragged it up a little bit. So now it sounds like this. So now we can move on to the drums. Like I said, I'm using Addictive Drums. You can just use sound samples or whatever. It's gonna follow the basic rules. So I'm just start from the beginning. Alright, so hit record. Alright, and we're going to do the same thing with the Quantize. I'm just going to show you guys like the basics. I'm not going to get into detail because there's like so much that you got to go through to make it sound, either if you want to sound authentic or you want it to sound more digi style. So we're going to Quantize it again, highlight everything, click Quantize, and I actually don't like that tom in the beginning, so I'm just going to drag this up, drag that up. So this is how it sounds now. And now for the bass, bring the cursor to the beginning of the track. Just play around real quick so I know what I'm going to play before I record it. Alright, so let's get ready to record. With the basses, I like to quantize it so it's lined up, and then I make sure the snap is off. Make sure this isn't highlighted blue. Then I kind of slide it to the right just a little bit so it gives it that swing feel, since I'm not playing a live bass. So this is how it sounds like now. Alright, now let's highlight all of it. Control C. Make sure this snap is on the top. Then click right here at the end of this pattern and make sure the top track is highlighted. Because if you paste it like this, then the track's going to paste out like that. So let's delete that and make sure the top one is highlighted. Alright, now you can do anything at this point. You can add synth, you can add bells, you can add bubbles. So for me, let's just do a bubble. Alright, so let's record the bubble now. Highlight it or click on it, Control C to copy. Then we're going to paste it so it loops over. But before I do that, I'm going to quantize it first. Quantize, kind of just shorten it up so it's not, it's more choppy, So this is what it sounds like with the bubble. Copy, now you paste it. The bubble is supposed to be more hidden in the background. Depends how it's up to you, to each their own. So Digitracks, I just kind of like everything sounding raw and just like totally absurd. Like levels aren't really to where it sounds like it would play on the radio, So, but for the most part, demonstration purposes, I just like to have it lined up like this. And also on the same bubble track, I like to play the skank along with the piano. So make sure this track is armed still. Bring the cursor to the beginning of the track. Hit record. Highlight the part you just recorded. Right click, quantize. You can pretty much do anything you want. You don't have to drag it to the left or the right. I just do it just to make it sound more authentic, since I'm not using live instruments. Kind of gives it that illusion of what's that word called? Just quantize. Yeah, I'll just use that word, quantize, whatever. But yeah, this is what it sounds like now. now we can just do like synth or a lead, or you know. So let's see what we got. I'm just playing around for a little bit. Alright, so I'm just freestyle this. Bring the cursor to the front, click record. I'm going to quantize this as well, highlight everything, right click, quantize. This is what it sounds like. So, just to get into more depth, my drum setup, you can just ask me and I'll send you the preset, but yeah, because there's like a lot to really play with here. But for the most part, I just if you want like a more digi sound reggae, I usually turn the overheads down, and to bring out the more of that natural reverb, I keep the room level at the same, or I kind of turn it up a little bit. Yeah, this is just how you want it to sound. The snare, like if you want it to drag out like a, then you mess with that volume envelope right here, and this is like the release time. So this is what it sounds like when you have it like this. And you just solo the drum track. You hear it, it's kind of like real snappy. It's like ta, ta. Now when I drag this down, it's gonna be dragging out a little bit more. See that? Hi-hats, I pretty much kill everything on the low end, and kind of, as you can see here, I kind of EQ it like this, bring up all the high end. The cut enable this is going to be off. But I mean, if you're not using this VST, it's pretty much you just add an EQ to that track and you just do the same thing right here. Just cut all the low ends off. And for this specific VST, it has this feature right here, the range. So I just kind of block out all the low ends and keep the top end. So it's kind of like sitting above the mix a little bit. The kick is, you can just play around with the kick to your liking. But for me, I kind of like it just dry, no headroom or no overhead mic, just straight up pop, just pop, you know. Yeah, for the bubble, I'm using the Korg rotary organ. And if you would like the presets for this, just let me know. But you can just follow what I have right here on the screen. And there's a lot more things that go on within the effects tab as well. But you just kind of do it to how you like it to sound. What else can we add? Alright, let's just play around with it. So at this point, you can just do your own, you know, be creative. Just the piano skank drums, you know, bubble and bass is the basics. After that, you can just have fun with it. You can just be creative after that. Um, but yeah, for the bass, depends. Like I said, it depends if you're making a digi style, rubber dub, a more authentic reggae like a Bob Marley style. Then the bass is gonna kind of be like a doom 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 doom. It's gonna have a little more, you know, little pullback a little bit, if you know what I mean. But that's why, to make mine sound closest as possible, I just highlight everything, and like I showed, I drag it a little bit so it sounds a little off-centered to make it not sound so robotic. But if you're just making a straight up digi, then you can just line everything up, because, you know, it doesn't matter at that point. So yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll get into more detail in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.